Week 6 is complete. The Alliance still undefeated. We have Boom Shakalaka and Halfway Crooks also winning, which sets up a showdown next week as those two teams face off for the second time this season. Speaking of the Alliance, I have a rant about them. They're great guys, not about them as people, but we'll get there. It's going to be an epic rant. Stay tuned for that. Welcome to the Week 6 postgame show presented by CrossNet. Guys, we're moving up in the world. CrossNet, order one, link below. Cool idea. Use the code LEGACY for $20 off at checkout. L-E-G-A-C-Y, Legacy. If you ordered one last week and didn't have the code, you got screwed. I'm sorry. You can email, thealliance@gmail.com. They will take care of all your complaints, for not getting your discount. Code LEGACY at checkout, crossnetgame.com. I'm Joey Zacco. I'm here with the guys. We said we were going to start with Boom and Skyhookers. So Boom Shakalaka back to their winning ways. Skyhookers pesky, been on a winning streak. I'm curious what you guys saw. I think size was a big deal. I think the Skyhookers made shots, and it still wasn't enough, which just kind of says what kind of team Boom Shakalaka is.
Yeah, I think they just got killed on the offensive glass because they shot the ball pretty well and moved it pretty well. And O'Donnell was really setting the pace for them. I think he had a near triple-double, so he was trying to do it all for them.
O'Donnell's kind of the heart of that team. When he plays well, the rest of the team kind of plays well. And they did play well, but as Tyler mentioned, the height of Boom Shakalaka was just too much to handle for Skyhookers.
Yeah, I agree, and I was the only one who actually picked Skyhooks too, that I thought was going to win that game. But yeah, they didn't. Matt Kamara had his first dunk ever, which we got a good highlight of. And yeah, they Skyhooks made a lot of runs and stuff, but it wasn't enough. Every time they came with something, Boom Shakalaka had an answer. And
Yeah, I know we talked about it at halftime. Brendan O'Donnell sitting out for a large chunk of that second quarter. I wonder how things would have been different. I mean, they were trailing by 6 at the half with Brendan on the bench, and that was because of a buzzer beater 3 as well. Maybe if he doesn't take 6 minutes off, maybe cuts that in half, they actually have a lead going in to the second half, and that may change things because it was that third quarter where Boom Shakalaka really pulled away.
Yeah, they definitely hung around, but I think that 3.5 is kind of like deflating, and it's not the way you want to start off the second half.
Yeah,
for sure.
Especially because they came off a free throw, and Brendan was like, "Oh, you guys got to stay back," and there was 3 seconds left, and he just chucked up a shot and made it. So
And still hit it, beat the buzzer.
Yeah.
Halfway Crooks will play Boom Shakalaka next week, as I mentioned, in Week 7. They took down Big Baller Brand for the second time this season. What from that game stood out? A full roster for Halfway Crooks, which was nice to have bodies to throw at Big Baller Brand.
yeah, I'd say Big Baller Brand did struggle on the day. They were putting up shots, and it wasn't falling for them. And Halfway Crooks did play well. The height also was an issue for Big Baller Brand. I think Halfway Crooks really killed it on the boards and just their height in general.
I thought your ball movement was great though because they were playing a 2-2 zone. You were really getting it to that middle man, so he could either kick out or drop down. So once you get that middle, it's just open from there.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue was just the lack of Big Baller Brand's offense. It seems like they just could not hit shots. Brett Cody tried to hit a buzzer beater at halftime, and it just got wedged against the backboard in the rim.
Kind of summed up the day.
Yeah, that's actually, he turned to the bench and said that. He's like, that just shows what kind of game this has been for us today, and I thought so as well.
When they're not hitting shots, you can kind of tell they're not as engaged all around, and I think they just had an off shooting night, and that kind of trickled into other aspects. The Alliance and the Werewolves. The Alliance, 100 points for the 5th week of 6 games so far, and they took care of business. Werewolves kind of made a run. It's always that first wave that kind of gets teams off balance, but this was the second time they've played, so they've already kind of gone through that. But it was really the first wave of the Alliance, their defense, as they talked about in the post game, wanting to keep that up. And then the Werewolves made a little run in the second, and when I say a little run, they cut it to 20, and we're hitting shots and we're kind of doing things. And then the Alliance clamped back down, and is there anything to take away? We're getting to a point where, it's almost like we need the playoffs to start for them.
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah, they had 37 at the end of the first, and Tony had 19, so I thought he'd drop at least 50, but I guess he kind of slacked off after that, but it was pretty impressive as usual.
The unselfishness just leads to so many open shots because they have so many scores.
Yeah, they had 37 assists as a team, so
yeah, they got a lot of easy baskets too. They shot almost 70% as a team, which is that's
unheard of.
Yeah, that's kind of ridiculous.
Speaking of the Alliance, they now have won 3 straight Player of the Weeks. Guys, fans, you can't let this happen. All right, here's the rant. All right, they're going to win a lot of basketball games. Okay, right? I think we all can agree. They may win the whole thing. They may never lose. The one chance we have at beating the Alliance is in the freaking fan vote. And you all let them walk all over you. I'm ashamed. You all should be ashamed. If you're watching this, go to the site right now. Vote in the poll. I'm amped. I need to calm down a little bit. I'm amped. But come on, they win everything else, right? Maybe you guys can drum up some support.
No, I usually vote for anyone but the
That's a good plan. So that's our mission for the week. Anyone but the Alliance to win Player of the Week, and we'll do something special. That's a lie. I don't know what we're gonna do. But the Alliance cannot win everything. They win on the court. Can't let them win off the court. Get to voting. Player of the Week poll. I'm glad you said that. That's very good. Now you all need to also follow suit with that. Hashtag anyone but the Alliance. I love it. I love it. And hopefully they complain. They're going to win Player of the Week again after seeing this. I can almost guarantee it. It just takes a share. Share it on Facebook. Share it on Twitter. It's easy. It's a fan vote. Anyone can win. We had Brendan O'Donnell go for 40.
Yeah, I even voted for him.
I know.
But obviously,
well, right.
my vote has no say.
Well, there you go. That might be the other issue. And then the Alliance just comes in and they share it, get people to vote, and win it. So vote in the poll. It goes till Saturday at 5 every week, and then we announce it Monday on Instagram. It's a nice little graphic. Hashtag anyone but the Alliance. I love it. So yeah, that's week 6. Any other last minute thoughts?
No.
Nice. Cool, that's a good way to end it. Top plays, power rankings, previews have been going well. I've been getting good reviews on those. We'll be doing game picks for week 7, which will be November 8th here at Wakefield Hills. But I think that's it. Anyone but the Alliance. CrossNet, code LEGACY, $20 off. Anyone but the Alliance. Nice. For the guys, I'm Joey. We'll see you in week 7 on Wednesday. Thanks for watching.